Today, we're doing something a bit different. We're looking into what people actually do with their free time. Hobbies, basically.
That's right. We've got some source material, conversations, notes, detailing all sorts of activities people get up to when they're not, working or studying.
Yeah, and our goal isn't just to list them off. We want to understand the why. What's the motivation? Is it just relaxing, having fun, learning something?
Exactly. We're aiming for a quick synthesis here. What are the key activities and what drives people to do them? Let's extract the essence, give you some rapid insight into how people find fulfillment outside of the daily grind.
We know you want the knowledge, but quick and deep, right? So think of this as a high-speed tour through personal choice. Not just what people do, but maybe what their brains need them to do to feel, well, whole.
Hmm.
Okay, let's dive in. First up, the things people do alone, the quiet stuff.
All right, section 1. Hobbies of solitude and reflection. This is about choosing to be alone, deliberately. Those personal activities that kind of act as a mental reset. No social pressure, just you.
And reading comes up top, naturally. But it's interesting what people read. Seems like there's a split.
Absolutely. A real fork in the road, psychologically speaking. You've got the escapists on one side drawn to fantasy and mystery novels.
Okay, let's start with fantasy. The source says it's about getting lost in a different world. That sounds like more than just distraction.
Oh, it is. It's like an active rejection of, this reality for a bit. Fantasy worlds are complex, invented histories, rules, magic systems, whatever. You have to immerse yourself mentally.
But why is diving into that complexity less stressful than dealing with, say, work complexity?
Well, I think it boils down to control, cognitive control, real-life problems. They're often messy, unpredictable. Sometimes there's no clear solution, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Fantasy, though, it's a contained system. The rules, even magical ones, they're consistent within that world. The story has a purpose, a structure. So you're swapping real-world messy stress for a kind of structured, manageable complexity created by an author. It's like a temporary mental break that actually works.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So how does that compare to the mystery reader? They're escaping too, but the sources say they like trying to solve a puzzle with the detective. That sounds more analytical.
It is. Mystery hits a different part of the brain. If fantasy offers structured immersion, mystery offers structured resolution. It feeds that need for intellectual closure.
Ah, closure.
Think about your day, maybe lots of loose ends, unfinished tasks.
Yeah.
A mystery novel guarantees a solution. All the clues, the red herrings, they will make sense by the end. It's super satisfying intellectually, especially compared to how inconclusive real life can be sometimes.
So two kinds of escape. One for the imagination, one for the logical brain.
Precisely. But then there's the flip side, the nonfiction reader. They're not really trying to escape at all. They're using free time to learn, reading articles or history books.
Yeah, the source mentions learning new things.
And that's a key difference, isn't it? It separates hobbies purely for rest from hobbies focused on growth. For these readers, relaxation isn't about not thinking. It's about focusing their thoughts on something enriching. Like reading history gives you perspective, makes current stuff feel less chaotic, maybe?
So they feel good because they're improving themselves, building intellectual capital, kind of.
Exactly. Turning free time into something actively constructive. So reading can really cater to different needs, escape, logic, learning. It's quite personal.
Okay, moving from the internal world of books to sound music comes up in two ways in our sources.
Yeah, first is the passive role, listening to music almost every day. And it's functional either for focus at work or just to cheer up.
The cheer up part mentions upbeat pop music. Makes sense, it's immediate, right?
Totally. Low effort, instant mood shift, like an emotional quick fix during the day, a really common coping mechanism.
But then there's the active music hobby, playing the guitar. This person's been doing it since I was a teenager. And the goal to clear my head. That sounds deeper.
It is. Playing an instrument isn't just consuming, it's channeling. You're actively doing something with your hands, your mind, your emotions.
And the genres are specific too. Mostly rock and blues. Why those, do you think?
Well, rock gives you that energy release, right? You can be loud, physical, rhythmic, great for getting rid of stress or frustration.
Yeah, cathartic.
And blues, that's about deep feeling. It often has complex structures, but it's also got space for improvisation, for expressing something more introspective, maybe melancholic, without words.
So you've got energy release and deep feeling. It's like a full emotional workout.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And notice the practice involves both learning songs, that's the discipline, and just improvising, playing what comes to mind. It's the spontaneous creativity.
That balance is probably key to sticking with it for so long.
Absolutely. Too much structure, it's like homework. Too little, it's frustrating. You need that mix of learning and just playing. The guitar becomes both a tool and a kind of therapy.
Okay, so we've covered reading and music, mostly sitting down. What
Mhm.
about just moving? The sources mention walking in the park.
Yeah, and it's framed very simply. Doing it when the weather is nice. Just the act of being outside, seeing nature, getting fresh air makes the person feel very good.
It seems really basic, but powerful.
It is, and it's highlighted as a solo activity. My time to think and just enjoy the quiet, even if they listen to a podcast sometimes. It's still about being in their own head, but maybe with a structured narrative guiding the thoughts instead of just letting them wander aimlessly.
Right. Processing time.
And the key benefit seems to be grounding. You know, we spend so much time looking at screens, walking outside, feeling the sun, smelling the air. It connects you back to the physical world. It's low effort, mental and physical maintenance all rolled into one.
So this first section really sets up solitude as crucial for managing our mental state,
Yeah.
escaping, expressing, or just processing.
Exactly. But what happens when people turn that energy outwards towards creating something?
Right, that takes us to section 2, creative and domestic pursuits, making stuff.
Yeah, moving from internal regulation to leaving a mark, however small, on the world.
And the first one is very tangible, cooking, specifically Italian food pasta, pizza.
Comfort food central. Cooking engages you on multiple levels. There's the satisfaction of experimenting with new recipes. It's like a mini science project in your kitchen.
Follow the steps, tweak things, see what happens.
And the feedback is immediate. It tastes good, or, well, it doesn't. Very different from work projects that might drag on forever, right?
Definitely. The reward is right there, creating something delicious.
But the sources highlight something else too, the social aspect. It's often shared with family, like the detail about the kids helping make pizza on weekends.
Oh, yeah. That turns cooking from a chore into something else entirely.
It becomes a ritual, a bonding experience. The shared activity, maybe the mess, the anticipation. The pizza isn't just food, it's a memory being made together. It's planned social time built around making something.
That idea of nurturing and seeing growth connects nicely to the next one, gardening. Described as an unexpected hobby for one person.
Which happens a lot, right? You find relaxation in something totally opposite to your daily grind, like the guitarist swapping a pick for a trowel, maybe.
Yeah. And the focus isn't just flowers, it's practical. Growing vegetables, tomatoes, lettuce, herbs like basil and parsley.
That's the rewarding part highlighted. So rewarding to plant a tiny seed and watch it grow into something you can eat. It taps into something really primal.
Patience, too. Gardening forces you to slow down, pay attention to nature's pace, not ours.
Exactly. In our instant world, it's a counter rhythm. And the commitment mentioned is manageable, a little time every weekend. It's not overwhelming, but it gives you regular sun, connection to the earth, and a healthy, tangible result. Utility and therapy combined.
Okay, so cooking and gardening are quite grounded, sensory. What about pure imagination? The sources mention drawing and writing.
Right. Drawing or sketching is positioned as a relaxing outlet. The person says they're not a professional, it's just for fun.
And the subjects link back to that appreciation for nature we saw with walking landscapes, trees, flowers. Also simple portraits, funny characters.
Sketching is really about applied observation, isn't it?
Yeah.
It makes you really look at things, the curve of a branch, how light hits it. Translating that to paper requires focus, but it's nonverbal, a
Yeah.
different kind of mental break.
The value isn't the masterpiece, it's the process.
Precisely. And then writing short stories. This is less frequent, a few times a year, but highly imaginative. Short adventure stories, sometimes funny.
Total freedom there.
Yeah, pure world building. The fun is in creating characters and plots, seeing where it goes. Unlike solving a mystery novel, here the writer is in complete control. It's like a mental playground, exploring ideas without real stakes.
So, this section shows creativity satisfying needs for tangible results, sensory engagement, and imaginative control, from pizza to plot lines.
Nicely put. Now let's shift gears completely. What about hobbies defined by being with others?
Section 3, share experiences and social hobbies. Time for interaction.
Moving from the solo process to the shared moment. These hobbies are explicitly about connection.
And the big one seems to be board games, a mutual love for playing them.
Board games are brilliant for socializing efficiently. They give everyone a shared focus, so you don't have that pressure of constantly thinking of things to say. The source is the value is in thinking, laughing, and talking with friends. The game itself is just the framework for the fun.
And the types of games matter. They mention longer strategy games like Catan or Ticket to Ride. These can take
They
hours.
can, and that's significant. Catan is all about resources, negotiation, planning ahead. Ticket to Ride is route planning, risk calculation. These aren't mindless games. They appeal to that analytical side we saw earlier, maybe the nonfiction reader or the recipe experimenter.
But wait, strategy games can be intense, even stressful sometimes. Is that really relaxing?
Ah, good question. It's probably not relaxing like a walk in the park is relaxing. It's more like mentally restorative.
Hmm.
It forces your brain to focus intensely on this contained, artificial problem, pulling it away from real-world worries.
Okay, like a structured distraction for the analytical mind.
Exactly. And the shared focus creates this great communal energy. The stress of the game is balanced by laughing together, maybe some friendly competition, the story the game creates.
And they balance it out too, right? With quick card games like Uno or Exploding Kittens.
Yeah, that provides the necessary lightness. Those games are less about deep strategy, more about quick bursts of laughter, easy interaction. If Catan's the main course, Uno's the palate cleanser.
A well-rounded gaming diet.
You could say that. It shows a deliberate approach, scheduling both complex challenges and simple fun for full social satisfaction.
Okay, moving from the table to the screen, going to the cinema.
Yep, called a classic and wonderful way to spend time. And the preference, big action movies or comedies? Spectacle.
They specifically mention the difference of the big screen experience compared to home. It's about the immersion, the scale.
It is. That shared sensory experience in a dark room full of people, it's a collective escape.
But like with cooking, the real value seems to extend beyond the main event. They talk about going for a coffee and talk about it afterwards.
That's key. It turns watching a movie from passive consumption into active social engagement. It becomes a mini discussion group.
Using the movie as a jumping off point.
Exactly. You analyze it, share opinions, maybe disagree.
Yeah.
It deepens the connection because you're interpreting something together. The movie provides the content, the coffee chat provides the connection.
So, social hobbies structure interaction, whether it's through complex rules or shared popcorn moments, always aiming for connection and shared experience.
Well summarized. Okay, so we've looked closely at the specific hobbies from our main sources, but they also mention a wider range.
Right. Section 4, a broader spectrum of hobbies, just to give context.
Yeah, let's group these by motivation. We see physical stuff, making collecting stuff, and exploring learning stuff, plus the digital side.
Okay, first, physical and athletic. Team sports like football, basketball, tennis. Individual things like swimming. It's not just about fitness, is it?
Definitely not. Team sports scratch that itch for belonging, for shared goals, maybe relying on others and having them rely on you. The discipline comes from the team. It's social, competitive.
Whereas swimming laps seems much more internal.
Totally. Swimming, running, often it's about rhythm, meditation, and motion, like walking, but maybe more intense focus. The reward is personal hitting a goal, endurance, that quiet headspace, solitary effort, different psychological payoff.
Then crafts and collecting. Crafts like knitting, painting, making jewelry.
These seem to be about detailed, focused creation, often using fine motor skills. You get lost in the process, pushing worries aside for the task at hand, and you end up with something tangible, unique, maybe useful. Similar reward to cooking or gardening in that sense.
And collecting stamps, coins? That feels different again. More about order.
Yeah, collecting is about organization, history, the thrill of the hunt, maybe completion, mastering a specific little world. Appeals to that same part of the brain that likes history or structured systems. You're curating your own little museum.
Then there's exploration and learning. Traveling, even short trips nearby, and learning new languages, like English.
Travel breaks routine, right? Even a day trip forces you out of the familiar, gives you new sights, new perspectives. It fights stagnation.
And language learning called fantastic and highly rewarding. That sounds like a big commitment.
It is, but the source frames it as super useful, opening doors. It's goal-oriented, intense mental work vocab, grammar, but with a clear practical payoff. Communication, connection, growth, and application.
And we can't ignore the modern digital hobbies. Playing video games, streaming movies, TV.
Video games, especially complex ones, offer that interactive escape, like fantasy novels, but you're in it, solving problems, mastering systems. Streaming, well, if you're passionate about genres or directors, it becomes more than just zoning out, it's appreciating the craft.
Kind of like the movie discussion group idea.
Could be. And finally, photography. Capturing moments, nature, people, interesting places. Photography seems like a great hybrid. It needs observation like drawing, maybe exploration like travel, and produces an aesthetic result like a craft. It makes you look at the world differently, frame it, find the beauty or interest.
So, looking across this whole spectrum, from knitting to Catan to learning Japanese, what's the big picture?
The concluding insight seems clear. Hobbies are vital. They fill needs work often doesn't. Relaxation, sure, but also learning, challenging ourselves, and crucially, meeting new people.
They add, as the source says, joy and color to life.
Exactly. They're not just filling empty time. They're deliberate choices for engagement, for defining who we are outside of our required roles.
Okay, let's wrap this up. We've seen that free time fulfillment seems to balance solitude and sociability, quiet reflection, and active creation or engagement.
From solving a puzzle alone to making pizza with kids, it's all about restoration and growth, one way or another.
And the big takeaway seems to be how important that investment is. The sources hinted hobbies can sometimes even turn into jobs, or at least be the main way people find their tribe, meet amazing people.
Yeah, they're not trivial pursuits. They can be foundational.
So here's the final thought, the one we want you to ponder. Given everything we've talked about, the different needs, the different activities, what's the simplest thing you do, maybe just for a few minutes, that gives you the biggest mental bang for your buck?
Like the highest return on investment for clarity or happiness is a 5-minute sketching, that 10-minute walk? Or do you need the complexity of a 2-hour game?
It's about knowing your own personal hobby efficiency, maybe.
Kind of. Reflecting on that balance between effort and reward,
Mm.
peace and stimulation. Finding your sweet spot might be the real key.
Something to think about. It's been great digging into the structure of free time with you.
Likewise.
Now maybe go apply it. Take that walk, play that chord, start that puzzle.
Yeah.
We'll catch you next time for another deep dive.